Hello everyone, very good evening to all the viewers of the Legal Game and Unacademy Law. This is Kushagra Goyal, your educator for the CLAT examination. So, on December 13, I have good news for all of you that today there is no international day to celebrate. But there is news for us to understand, and a almost war-like scenario is now developing between Russia and Ukraine. So yesterday we talked about what the build-up is all about. We talked about the Donbas province. So please make sure that if you are someone who has no idea about anything that has happened in the past week, or you're watching or reading news today that you're like, Sunday is my day off, sir, I don't read anything. So I have a good news for you. I am taking a 7 p.m. special class to cover all the events that have happened in the month of December until now. So this will be part 1. It will be a special class on Unacademy's platform for all of you. It will be at 7 p.m. today. The link to the class is in the description box as Kushagra Goyal special class. You can enroll for this class right now to ensure that you get a notification the moment the class goes live. Please make sure that you are well versed with all the events of weekly current affairs. This is the revision class. पूरे अभी तक के महीने का all the national events we will cover today. So don't miss out on it. Very important class for all of you. It is totally free of cost for those who are wondering. Unacademy के platform पे totally free होगी. All you have to do, if you are someone who is registering for the first time, use my code KUSSGK to access this class for free. No other thing required. Okay. Now, what all do we need to know about today's newspaper? So moving on, this is a reminder for all of you if you are not aware of current affairs. But we move on. So there is a lot of political news, but there is something related to urban cooperative banks that has been happening or is in news. So all of you are aware of the controversy about PMC Bank. Or if I name the name Lakshmi Vilas Bank. Or if I give you a name known as Yes Bank. What is common about these? What is a common thing about all these three banks? All these three banks were kept under RBI moratorium. क्या मतलब है इसका? RBI moratorium, that is, the depositors could not withdraw the money because the bank had ran out of money. आपने अपना बैंक में पैसा दिया, आपने कैश दिया, but the bank runs out of money. That is the scenario where RBI imposes a moratorium. So, in that regard, the Prime Minister and the RBI governor yesterday hinted for further reforms and regulation of urban cooperative banks. Cooperative banks that have been recently been going downhill, they have been used as political tools, they have been wasting a lot of people's money. So one of the big headlines from the news is about a change that the government brought in this year. पहले क्या होता था? Let's say there is A person, okay? A has 10 lakh rupees in his account, and there is B who has 1 lakh rupee in his account. Okay? And the account that they had was ABC Bank. ABC Bank में दोनों का खाता था. ABC Bank runs out of money and moratorium is imposed. Both these people could only claim up to 1 lakh from RBI. This was the what is known as bank guarantee. इसको क्या बोलते थे? This return of 1 lakh was known as bank guarantee. कि कुछ भी हो जाए आपको इतना पैसा तो मिलेगा ही. So B could retrieve his entire money. A was able to retrieve 1/10 of his deposit. So the limit was 1 lakh. This year, the government changed the limit from 1 lakh to 5 lakh rupees, increasing the bank guarantee limit from 1 to 5 lakhs. ठीक है? This is the change that was brought in by the RBI this year. This is one of the reforms that Prime Minister talked about, that cooperative banks would go bankrupt in cities because of decisions of certain people, and people will lose money because RBI used to guarantee only and only 1 lakh rupees. This has now been changed to 5 lakh rupees. So हमें क्या याद रखना है? What is the question that we need to remember? What is the new bank guarantee limit for Indian banks or Indian depositors now? The limit is 5 lakh rupees. ये बात आपको याद रखनी बहुत जरूरी है, ठीक है? Then we move on about the cooperative ministry. So the Prime Minister talked about that, see, ये जो प्रॉब्लम है अर्बन कोऑपरेटिव बैंक्स की, उनके लिए व्हाट वी हैव डन, वी हैव क्रिएटेड अ कोऑपरेटिव मिनिस्ट्री. Who heads the cooperative ministry? Our home minister, that is Amit Shah ji. Okay, he is also the cooperative ministry minister. So Prime Minister spoke that, see, to resolve the issues of urban bank depositors, we have brought in this change. A lot of times what happens is people invest in these urban cooperative banks based on high returns, unrealistic return that they promise कि 10% रिटर्न होगा आपको, हर साल 15% ब्याज मिलेगा. 15% ब्याज is not possible when the economy itself is going downhill, right? The bank also needs to earn that much profit to give you something like that. इस वजह से our RBI governor was talking about कि depositors should be very discerning. It is very important to keep in mind that higher returns are usually associated with higher risk. Just because a bank is offering higher return, the depositor should be very careful before putting their money. Okay, so this, while describing government's decision to raise the insured limit for bank deposits to 5 lakh from 1 lakh with a 90-day limit to pay out such deposits as landmark. पहले क्या होता था? It used to take some amount of time, years. Now there is a regulatory requirement कि 90 दिन के अंदर ही, 90 डेज में ही आपके 5 लाख रुपए तक आपको 90 डेज में ही मिल जाएंगे. दिस इज द गारंटी दैट द आरबीआई हैज नाउ ब्रॉट इन. ऑलराइट, सो दिस इज द बिग रिफॉर्म. Where was the Prime Minister speaking? This was at the depositors first event in New Delhi. अब event पे ज़्यादा question नहीं आता है, but because such kind of events do take place at on and off right now, especially with the 75th anniversary of India's independence, we have lined up a lot of events. The Prime Minister keeps delivering about different areas, so there is less likelihood of the event name, but the reform becomes important. Okay, so this is the first big highlight from the day to be noted down. Then on the right hand side, today the Prime Minister is also going to inaugurate one of his major policy, which is the Kashi Vishwanath corridor. This is one of the big projects of the Prime Minister that he had announced. It's a 800 crore project. Lot of land had been taken away, lot of demolishments happened in the old area of Varanasi, leading up to the 400-meter long corridor in Varanasi. Okay, this is the temple built by Ahilya Bai Holkar on the Ganges or the banks of river Ganga. Okay, so this is the thing, the Kashi Vishwanath corridor. We'll talk about it later. But the other big news was the hacking of Prime Minister's Twitter handle. So our Prime Minister Modi is very popular on Twitter. He's very active on Twitter. He tweets from his personal tweets also. Even before he became the Prime Minister, one of his very famous one was when he had visited United Nations as India's Prime Minister first. He had tweeted a selfie with himself at the UNO building, right? So this Prime Minister's Twitter account was briefly hacked is what has been notified, and investigations are now ongoing as to who or how it has happened. So this is a key information. We will wait for what more. देखो, a lot of things in the newspaper are developing stories, अपने आप में अभी develop हो रही है, right? So our notes will only happen when they are finally concluded. पूरा बात settle हो गया, ठीक है? उससे पहले notes बनाने का कोई point नहीं है. I never tell students to take down notes of developing stories. Always once the story is settled तब notes बनाओ, ताकि बार बार notes बनाने का पे time waste नहीं हो, ठीक है? Then the next thing, so there are pictures from the dham. More pictures will come today, the real ones. Okay. Then we move on. On all these national news are not relevant for us. More cases of Omicron are being found, but nothing to worry. We'll talk about the WHO report on it later. Okay. Then we come to the editorial section. On the left-hand side of the editorial section, freedom and power, elected leaders must keep their promises of freedom and equality for their people. This is in backdrop of what? Summit for Democracy. 12 तारीख को on 11th of December, the summit was started. It was a 2-day event organized by whom? The Secretary of State of United States. Who is the Secretary of State? It is Anthony Blinken. Who is the President of USA? Joseph Biden, or Joe Biden as he is called. Okay. So in this summit, 110 nations participated. तो अब ये बात तो हो ही नहीं सकती कि कौन, how many of these countries were there. Who were the notable omissions is what this is very important from. Curiously, in South Asia itself, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka and Bhutan were left out, while Pakistan was invited, who decided not to attend. The other two big countries that were not invited to the summit were Russia and China, who then issued a joint editorial stating a joint communication stating that, see, this is something no one has actually what you can say, the flag bearer of democracy. No one country can claim themselves to be a democracy or the shining light of democracy, okay? The key part is, and what was highlighted were the excesses committed by United States during Iraq, Libya and Afghanistan. Today, on the channel of Legal Game, I had hosted a live session on WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks shot to fame by investigating and revealing these excesses committed by the United States military during their operations. So if you are someone who has no idea about these excesses, please, I suggest that you go and watch the session on WikiLeaks on the Legal Game. The link will be in the comment box, okay? So make sure that you do that. Then we move on. The next part within this was the criteria for who can be part of the democracy summit. This was quality of democracy. How can you claim I am more democratic than you, or you are more democratic than C, or she is more democratic than he? So no one person can claim democracy, but everyone wants a say in democracy, which begs the question then for us to note down is, what is India? India is a representative democracy. ठीक है? What are we as per our constitution? A representative democracy. मतलब हमारे यहाँ सारे decisions everyone doesn't take. We select a representative who takes the decision on our behalf. For example, all of us elect a member of parliament from our behalf, from each constituency. They and then represent us. So for us to remember is, within this article, the Summit for Democracy, the themes of the summit: fighting authoritarianism, countering corruption, and promoting human rights. Authoritarianism, corruption, and promotion of human rights. Those were the key areas of the summit. Very, very pertinent. All right. That is the key to be remembered. Uske baad, what is the next thing? Within this, apart from more inclusive guest list, the result summit would have been better to begin with a globally accepted definition of democracy. That there should be a common understanding of what democracy is what the idea should have been. But वैसा कुछ नहीं था. इस एडिटोरियल में बाकी सारी बातें आगे की है. ऑलराइट, दोज आर स्पेक्युलेटिव थिंग्स नॉट फॉर आवर प्रेपरेशन पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू. सी, वी रीड न्यूज़पेपर ओनली टू प्रिपेयर फॉर करंट अफेयर्स. जो भी एग्जाम में आ सकता है वो ही पढ़ना है. नाउ दैट वी आर 6 months अवे, दैट इज द की ऑफ आवर प्रेपरेशन. ठीक है, हमें बाकी चीजों से कोई लेना देना नहीं है. राइट, सो वी मूव ऑन द नेक्स्ट वन. This is a important editorial for us. Who is it about? It is about Julian Assange. Who is Julian Assange? Julian Assange is the founder of WikiLeaks. What is WikiLeaks? Investigative journalism website not associated with Wikipedia. When was WikiLeaks founded? 2006. When did they make their big expose? 2010. Okay. From 2010 to 2015, WikiLeaks has been continuously making big exposes about governments, private companies, their different diplomatic channels, how they have been abusing their power. Okay, so those are the things that Assange has symbolified. Now, what is this ordeal that is being talked about? Ordeal is a inconvenience of a higher degree. Okay, आपकी vocabulary के हिसाब से this is an important thing. What is ordeal? Ordeal is a higher degree of discomfort that you cause to someone. So what is this ordeal that he's going through? What did Julian Assange reveal? In 2010, he revealed that US government had led to approximately 3 lakh civilian death in their different wars in Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan and Libya. In these 3 wars, they have led to death of 3 lakh civilians, and they had been covering it up, trying to hide the officers who knew that civilians will be killed and yet did so. All right, so he exposed the US government and their problems, and yet what is he being tried for? He is being tried for espionage, for hacking into the systems of US government and revealing sophisticated information, secretive information, information essential for national security is what it is being called for. अब यूएस के अंदर दो चीजें होती है. एक तो होता है यूएस gives everyone the right to free speech, but it also creates a distinction between citizens and journalists. हमारे यहाँ we have a common definition. Everyone has the same freedom of speech and expression. No distinction between a journalist and a non-journalist. But US में ऐसा नहीं है. ठीक है, they have a distinction. All right, so this article then points out that see, US what they are trying to do is basically create a chilling effect. To dumb down the voices of those who criticize the actions of US government. That, see, if you try to do this, we can confine you in jail. Julian Assange has been in confinement since 2012. One way or the other, the man has not left a building or a room. Okay, for what? For revealing details that were unpleasant to a particular government. So that is his crime for a state or crime against the state. This is what he's being tried for. For us, it becomes important from the aspect of chilling effect. Okay. If you want to know more about WikiLeaks, I highly recommend you watch the episode on what is WikiLeaks on the Legal Game. The link to it will be there in the comment box. So please check it out. Okay. Then we move on. This one, the stepping stones in the post-pandemic world. This talks about different trade, how India can play a role. This is a policy document. Okay. Policy editorial है ये. Okay, therefore not important for us. Okay, इसमें कुछ नहीं आएगा question. Then we move evolution and framing of Indian Constitution. This is being written by former chairperson of the Lok Sabha, and he's talking about what the Constitution is, how did it come about. So for the viewers of the Legal Game, most of you were not born when India got independent. Most of you were not even or the only link that you may have is with grandparents who were alive when India had struggled for independence. All right, we are now almost around 75 years of our independence and 70 years to being a republic. So it is a long time ago, but the history of our constitution, something that you will study in NLUs also, is tied to the struggle for independence that we do. A lot of ideas that are there in our constitution were tied closely to the struggle of independence. Even the date on which we celebrate the Republic Day is tied to our constitutional and struggle for independence, because in 1930 our first Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru had declared Purn Swaraj for the first time on 26th January. So as a mark of respect for that day, we celebrate Republic Day on 26th January. Okay. Similarly, the choice of B.R. Ambedkar as a chairperson of the drafting committee of constitution. He was a staunch critic of Mahatma Gandhi and the process of Satyagraha. He believed that, see, these processes are not something, they create anarchy and it is better we leave them behind. He was a staunch believer in what Bal Gangadhar Tilak used to call the moderates. Alright, he believed in the moderation, and only through that he believed that change could be brought in, that long-term education and moderation as the way for reform. While Mahatma Gandhi believed in a more extremist way that, see, if the government is not listening to you, you break the unjust law, that you believe that something is unjust and you take a stand against it by denouncing or accepting that unjust law. Alright, so this was the idea, that despite this, our constitution assembly, the constituent assembly that created the constitution, selected B.R. Ambedkar, but majority of the members of the constituent assembly were congressmen or members of the Indian National Congress. Despite being criticized by Ambedkar, they selected him because they believed in his vision. Similarly, the editorial gives or brings out the contribution of Jawaharlal Nehru, not just the date, but the objective resolutions that are imbibed as the broad principles of our constitution, that we will have adult suffrage, we will have equality, we will have fraternity, sovereignty of our ideas, and overall freedoms of certain, freedom of faith, freedom of choice, freedom to do anything in the country within the constitutional parameters. All this was moved in the objective resolution. This was the guiding light for the Constituent Assembly. So this article is like a refresher for the constitutional history. The other aspect of it that this article becomes important for us to study is accountability. Political accountability is a must for us to ensure who is doing a better job. So let's say someone says the Prime Minister is doing a great job. Okay, so now, all right, he's doing a great job. What are the facts about it? So you say that the Prime Minister, during the tenure of the first tenure of Prime Minister Modi, inflation never touched higher than 5%. Very good. That's objectively, because in the second tenure of Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, inflation had touched 11%, consistently higher to 8%. Very good. Objectively, you can evaluate. Second, accountable. So on this, what you are doing, objectively judging a office. All right. The article states that our constitution, okay, I always tell students that we have a formula like this. Our constitution has this formula, okay, where there are three limbs. There is judiciary, there is executive, and there is the legislature. All right. So the formula for our constitution, null structure, is this, where the executive is responsible to the legislature and the executive is created through the legislature, but the judiciary is totally separate. Okay. यूएस के कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में क्या है, लेजिस्लेचर अलग है, एग्जीक्यूटिव अलग है, जुडिशरी अलग है, ठीक है. बट हमारे यहाँ लेजिस्लेचर एंड एग्जीक्यूटिव आर टुगेदर, वाइल the judiciary is totally separate. Okay. So this is the formula that we have. This was recently pronounced once again by our Chief Justice during a speech. He stated that, see, the framers of Constitution made accountability an integral element with respect to legislature and executive. However, judiciary, they decided to keep judiciary on a different pedestal. That there is some amount of deference that you have to have and some faith in the judiciary that they will do justice. All right. So there is a distinction on how a judge will be judged by the society and how we will be judged. Okay. That is the legislature and the executive. Okay. That is the separation that we have. Okay. This is the key distinction that is being brought about. Why this separate pedestal? Because if you are looking to evaluate a judge on a political accountability level, कि वो कितना पैसा खर्च करते हैं, how much do they earn, where do they travel, how much is their income, what is their family income, all of this. If we judge them on this level, then it will create problem. Why? Because then it reduces faith of the people. Whereas in legislature, you have option of having another legislator. Okay? That if let's say one person, let's say I run for office, I don't do a good job, you can replace me with yourself also tomorrow. But if the faith in judiciary is lost, the structure will collapse. How will it collapse? It will collapse if the doctrine of basic structure was not created. That certain changes to the constitution can never be made. That certain things of the constitution are sacrosanct. So much so that Indira Gandhi had imposed emergency, yet that had to be done within the confines of constitution. Similarly, the appointment of judges that was promulgated under Prime Minister Modi was brought down by the Supreme Court. Similarly, in 1992, the changes of economic policy, but they could not be led to change the entire structure of fundamental rights. That you had to provide people with fair compensation even if you were taking away their lands. So what are these? These are basic principles in our constitution and they need to be cherished and secured. And the judiciary has the duty to secure them. So this article is like a basic precursor to your preparation for idea of constitution. Ki what is constitution and what is constitutionality? All right. This article is important for you all on this aspect. Okay. Therefore, it's very important. Do give it a read. If you have any doubts about it, please feel free to tell me. Okay. Now, where can you tell me about your doubts? You can tell me your doubts on the Telegram channel, that is Kushagra Goel, the legal game. You can join me there and then ask doubts. This particular paragraph of this entire editorial, sir, I did not understand. Please refer to it tomorrow once again. So tomorrow when I do the newspaper analysis of December 14, before that I will take up your doubt and resolve it. Okay. So this will ensure that, see, you all are also following up with whatever I'm telling you is important. You are reading it up and then following up next. So this is the key part that you have to do. Okay. The notes related to the classes that I take, all of them are available on the link that bit.ly/KUSSGK notes. Okay. Then we move on better part of valor. So this is G.R. Gopinath, a former member of the armed forces, talking about what is the level of pressure and why certain accidents of aircrafts happen. So one of the two prominent reasons he's talking about, one is bad weather and adventurism of the pilots in those. That I am a brave pilot, I will go through this weather, I will be able to do it. And the second one is the pressure from the seniors who is traveling them through, or sometimes the organizers of events. So those could be two of the reasons why certain accidents can happen. One, the pilot thinks they are experienced enough and adventurous enough to go through bad weather and do not follow standard operating procedure. He lists out two accidents. One of them is a helicopter accident that happened in 1997 where a helicopter crew crash landed in a pond. The pilot had thought that he was landing on a solid surface, but only very late realized that he was actually landing in a center of a pond. And then he tried to push away from it, which led to the accident and killing of everyone. Then similarly, he's also talking about other accidents that have happened. One of such accidents was the 2002 Deccan aviation accident. In this, the Speaker of Lok Sabha had passed away, GMC Bala Yogi. Similarly, in 1997, an accident that was carrying the former Prime Minister Morarji Desai, he had been part of it, but he survived that accident. So those are events, but he links out both these two reasons. One, adventurism of pilots without following standard operating procedure, or second, pressure to ace through difficult weather or not follow the standard operating procedure by VIPs. This is the idea. Now, nothing important for us. This is in context of the accident of M17V5 helicopter that has taken place of our Chief of Defence Staff, and the inquiry is now ongoing. The details of how these accidents earlier happened is through these inquiries, so we need to wait for this. Then the article on the left is A. Faizur Rahman's article on flawed Islamic democracy of Pakistan. Pakistan is a failed state. Okay. In short, it's a state in denial. It's a state that does not know why it exists in the first place. Is Pakistan exist just to create trouble for India? Probably. What is the essential purpose of Pakistan's army? To create trouble for Indians. All right. What is Pakistan's position in Islamic world? Does not know. If you ask anyone in the Pakistani establishment, we are the proud nation, we represent Islamic democracy. What is Islamic democracy? Is it about protecting people's right, or is it about imposing the orthodox Islam? What is it about? No clarity. So, for example, in India, there is clarity that rights of people triumph above the dogmatism of religion. So, if there is untouchability in religion, not permissible. Is it triple talaq in Islam? Not permitted. All right. So similarly, if there is something that violates the rights, then it is not permissible in India. But is this the same in Pakistan? No. Then the article lists out certain Quranic verses to tell us that, see, this is what the real Islam is all about. If Pakistan believes in the Quranic version of democracy, or what Quran preaches, then also it is not following it, and it is not following a constitutional democracy structure. सबसे पहली बात, the idea of Pakistan as a religious state has also failed because Bangladesh separated from it. Okay, then the idea of Pakistan as the state for the West, the Islamic world also has failed because all the time Pakistan is seeking loans from either Pakistan or USA or Saudi Arabia or aid from somewhere else. All right, so this is the flawed Islamic democracy. If you are interested in knowing about Pakistan, then this is a good article to give a read. Okay, you can read it then. Okay, that's the only reason why you should read it. So that's why I'm color coding it differently. Okay, why is it in news? Because abhi recently there was a mob lynching of a person on the ground of blasphemy, that the Sri Lankan national had violated and insulted Quran, and therefore he was burnt alive by the crowd. Now, is that kind of justice should be allowed in a democracy? Probably no. Is that something accepted in Quran as per the author? That is also no. I'm not well versed with it. This is what the article states. Okay. Then the data point, Omicron spreads fast, less severe. So WHO has now told us that the variant B.1.1.529, okay, has more transmissibility but is less severe than Delta. मतलब जो सिम्टम्स होंगे, जो डिजीज हमें कोविड से होगी, अगर हमें ओमिक्रॉन वेरिएंट का कोविड होता है, then it will be less severe. Are vaccines effective against Omicron? Data is shaky, but it will spread faster than Delta variant. So we could have a more severe, we could have a huge spike in cases if it spreads, but will we have it as severe as the second wave of COVID-19 that we had in India? Probably not. That is what WHO data is. So make sure you are vaccinated. Everyone around you is double vaccinated, because that is all that we can do. So please get your vaccination done. Anyone in your family, anyone who visits you, ask them, okay, if they have done their vaccination. Then Manipur and Assam wanted to retain AFSPA. So yesterday we talked about AFSPA in a segment, okay, and we stated that there are only 2 states that have AFSPA now, Nagaland and Assam, and Arunachal Pradesh ki 3 districts and 2 police stations. So Manipur ke andar AFSPA was gone by 2018. Over. Assam ka pura state still has AFSPA. So this article is about how the current government there has been in support of having AFSPA as the entire region, despite only 1 reported violent incident in the past 1 year. पूरे साल में एक incident हुआ है. Despite that, AFSPA is on the entire state of Assam. So this is the news about that. Okay. If you want to know more about AFSPA, please watch my episode, that is What is AFSPA? The link to it will be in the description, in the comment box, so you can watch it there. Okay, it's on the Legal Game. The link will be provided. The notes are already on the drive link that I have provided in the description box. Okay. Then we move on. Supreme Court has taken note of Section 124 misuse. So this is in response to Kiran Rijiju putting out a reply in the parliament and then tweeting that, see, we do not want to scrap sedition law, that is 124A. We do not believe that there is any case for misuse of it either. So in that regard, this is the analysis, that there have been reports, and the Supreme Court bench headed by Justice N.V. Ramana did call that it a colonial law. Do we need the law that was used to imprison Mahatma Gandhi and Bal Gangadhar Tilak in India? Was his observations. Okay, that was his remark. In that regard, the response of Attorney General of India was that we may not need to scrap the law. All we need to do is just ensure that it is not misused. Okay, that scrapping it would be the wrong state. It is enough to see if there are any excesses and its use and limit for the real purpose. That would be enough. So this is the case for sedition. Is it misused? Yes. Is it misused to curb freedoms of speech? As per the Supreme Court, yes. It is like giving a tool to the carpenter to cut wood and he uses it to cut the forest. This is what sedition is applied to. Okay. Then we move on. Work to link Ganga and Vishwanath Mandir, the symbols of Varanasi. This is Bimal Patel, the chief architect behind the Kashi Vishwanath corridor. He is the architect who Prime Minister had picked for the rejuvenation of Sabarmati River in Ahmedabad. He is also the one who is behind the redevelopment of the Central Vista project. Okay, so he was also the chief architect for the Kashi Vishwanath temple. Okay, probably in future, just like we study, or students in architecture study Le Corbusier for Chandigarh and Bhubaneswar as cities, students in 2050 will study Bimal Patel because he is the one taking up majority of the renovation projects in India right now. Okay, so that is probably the case. Then 71's war reflects folly of partition. This is our defense minister speaking at the Swarnim Vijay Parv to commemorate the 50 years of Bangladesh Liberation War. Yesterday marked the end of the 13-day war that we fought for the freedom of Bangladesh. And as rightly pointed out by our defense minister, that the 71 war is a shining example of jointness of three military services, undermining the importance of planning. Why is this statement important and is very pertinent to be noted down? It is this reform and creation of tri-service commands that General Bipin Rawat was working on. Okay, as Chief of Defence Staff, he was the one who was pushing for tri-service commands, that we don't need to have, let's say, a cyber wing for Army, Air Force and Navy separate. We can have them together. Okay, so this is the key part that his speech pointed out, and he also stated that in the past century, there were three main comprehensive wars that were won: the First World War, the Second World War, and the India's Bangladesh Liberation War. Because our objective was to liberate Bangladesh, we did it in style. In a short time, delivered on the targets that we had with limited collateral damage to ourselves. Okay, and we did not let the war escalate like the North Korea and South Korea war, which is still ongoing on paper. Okay, so this is the most comprehensive victory armed forces have achieved as per our defense minister, and it is pertinent to point out the tri-service command which General Bipin Rawat was talking about and working on. Okay, then we move on. Apart from this, on the small tiny space is Varun Gandhi moves a private member bill. So a bill for MSP guarantee has been moved as a private members bill. Private member bill are those bills that are introduced by independent MPs. For the past 2 years during COVID time, no private member bill was moved in. Now, in this session, they are being moved for the first time. Until and unless the government supports these bills, they will never be passed. But Varun Gandhi has tabled a bill for the same. We'll need to see how the government responds to it. Then we move on. G7 calls to de-escalate warns against Ukraine incursion. There is widespread news that probably Russia is going to invade Ukraine. It's a developing story. It is something we talked about yesterday. This is something, and Russia is doing it basically to ensure a no of Ukraine into NATO. So this is the political posturing happening. We need to wait how they decide. All right, nothing apart from that. Then Naftali Bennett becomes the first Prime Minister of Israel to visit United Arab Emirates, the third Arabic state to be visited. Okay, all of this is part of the Abraham Accords. Okay, the Abraham Accords that were signed by Israel, UAE, Bahrain, Morocco, and Sudan. Okay, these countries have normalized their relationship with Israel. Arab countries are Muslim majority. Israel is a Jewish majority country. The conflict of Israel-Palestine, where Arabic Palestinians are mostly of Arabic origin, ethnicity and religion. Their rights are being taken away, and Israel is basically in occupation of the territories of Palestine. But moving beyond that, moving the conflict of Arab, or the 6-day war of Arab-Israel wars of the 1950s and 60s, moving beyond it, Abraham Accords were signed in 2020. Glad 2020 में इससे related question आया हुआ है. इस वजह से now this will be the first visit by Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett. We need to see what comes out of it. Okay, this is one of the big news stories of the day. Then we move on. उसके बाद Omicron spreads faster, weakens vaccine efficacy. So probably vaccines may not be as effective as they were, but it is not yet confirmed. Okay, there is, and Anthony Fauci of USA's CDC, he has stated that we will now need 3 doses. Our government has stated that right now there is no need for booster doses because the variant is not spreading in India. So we should not panic as of now. Then we move on. उसके बाद Nothing on economic side. On the news of F1, Max Verstappen, who is a Dutch national, has won his first world championship. He is the driver. And Mercedes have won the 8th consecutive constructors title. Okay, so he is the first champion, first time world champion. All right, so this is the news. He has won the title for the very first time. He's 24 years of age and rides for Red Bull Racing. Red Bull Racing is also the same company for which Jehen Darwala drives in Formula 2. Jehen Darwala is the Indian Formula 2 driver. If he is ever promoted, there is a chance he'll be promoted in the Red Bull Racing team. Then we move on. Apart from this, nothing of note here. In text and context, making sense of Kerala. This is social history of Kerala, not to note. Nothing of note. And the feudal cloud kingdom, nothing to be noted here. What I would ask all of you to do, keep a note of, is give them the stick if they hit the nerve. This is like, my boss gave me a stick for being late. The phrase gave me a stick. Okay, this is the one that we are talking about for your vocabulary. Gave me a stick. Unpleasant, गुस्सा होना, किसी को डांटना, that is what gave me a stick. That rebuke नहीं किया publicly, but जता दिया कि you are not very comfortable, all right, with the idea. So that is gave me a stick. With this, we conclude the newspaper analysis. Now, what all do we need to note in today's newspaper? First is Cooperative Bank. And the increase of bank guarantee from 1 lakh to 5 lakh. पुरानी news है, but अच्छा point है to revise it. Okay. Then the Constitution article. Very important to be read by all of you. Okay. जरूर से पढ़ना है वो आर्टिकल आप लोगों को. Okay. उसके बाद then the next thing that we need to keep in mind from today's newspaper is the Abraham Accords वाली news. Okay, regarding AFSPA and WikiLeaks, both of them I have done a separate video. If you are not aware of any of them, please make sure you check the comment section. उसके अंदर link given है, वहाँ से ये दोनों videos वापस से देख लेना. Alright, make sure that you watch them. On that note, a good reminder for all of you, if you are someone who has started just now for your revisions and you're looking for a class to revise your December ka news, do join in at 7 p.m. today on the Learners app of Unacademy, where I will be doing the revision of all the important national news for the time being. That is, आज की तारीख तक जितनी भी important December month की important news हुई है, we will revise all of them. What do you have to do? You have to either open the Unacademy Learners app, or you can just go to the link in the description box to tune into this class. Alright, with that, for those who are unaware of why you should attend a special class, special classes are where you can ask me questions verbally. YouTube में क्या है कि आप सिर्फ one-on-one chat पे बोल सकते हैं and then I can respond you tomorrow or later on. There you can raise your hand, ask me the question immediately. Second, you can get notified of when the class will actually happen, when it is beginning, and immediately get access to the notes of the class also. Okay, you will get immediate access to them. And the best part is you can watch these classes n number of times at any point of time. You don't have to really worry, look for any links. You just have to open your Unacademy app and the details will be there. If you are also someone who is now looking for preparation of classes plus test, then you should subscribe to Unacademy's courses for CLAT examination, where you will get to participate in unlimited quizzes, national level mock test, plus other events for your class. And all the classes that you participate in, you can ask me questions verbally. And if you are a CLAT 2022 aspirant, take a 6-month subscription. And if you are a CLAT 2022 aspirant, 2023 aspirant, take a 12-month subscription. And if you want a discount, the same code that you will use for accessing the special class, use it to get a 10% discount when you are paying your subscription. For 2023 aspirants, the batch is the Legal Source, and for 2022 aspirants, the batch is Phoenix. It began on 8th December. You can watch the class previously, the ones you have missed, and follow up on the upcoming classes. With that, and the best part today, do remember to appear in your weekly T20 test, which is for 20-minute test. Don't miss out on them. Okay. On that note, thank you so much all of you. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you are new to it. Hit the bell icon so that you don't miss the updates. And if you have liked this concept of newspaper analysis, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends who also need it. And if you have any advice for me, what I should be doing in the next video, put it in the comment section. I do read all the comments of all of you. Thank you so much. See you all tomorrow.